Isn't it amazing how when we're in the presence of the Almighty, we just come undone? It's important that we let ourselves go in His presence. It's important, and it's a big key. Let yourself go. Allow yourself to come undone. Allow yourself to come undone. If you take these thick woven ropes that they use on the ports to tie up the ships and stuff, if you take a piece and you start unraveling that whole piece, which is nicely stiff and woven together, it comes undone. And trust me, I would like to see the person that can do that try and put that unraveled pieces back again like it was. It's impossible. We must allow ourselves to come undone and not strive to get back to that stiffened, woven piece of rope. Stay undone. It's the best. I can guarantee you. Great. Okay, this morning, I want to speak about something that God really placed upon my heart. But first of all, I would like to know who of you like animation movies? Who like animation movies? I truly love animation movies. There's something about animation movies that's just different from normal movies. Isn't it? I mean, let's take, for instance, Horton Hears a Who. Who have watched Horton Hears a Who? Horton Hears a Who. It's about this elephant. One day when he went off to bathe in the river, a speck of dust came past. And on this speck of dust, if you go and watch the movie, was like a whole, almost like a community. I think it's ticks or flies, microscopic little whatever they are. And they had a whole town and the whole thing. And the whole movie involves on how he tries to save them from being completely destroyed. I mean, you cannot do that in normal movies. Can you? No. That's why animation movies is so great. I just love animation movies because the imagination, whatever you can imagine, you can do in animation movies. Isn't it true? And sometimes amazing the messages. Oh, okay, there are some really not so great animation movies, but a lot of them are amazing. One that truly spoke to my heart, Ratatouille. Who watched Ratatouille? Huh? Yeah. And if you've got kids, then you've watched it more than once. I don't know how many times, but I've watched Ratatouille a couple of times already. And Ratatouille is amazing. It portrays this whole environment of behind the scenes in the kitchen. Not just a normal kitchen. These nice upmarket fancy restaurants, kitchens. And it's amazing because he truly captures not just a phony little thing, but the true thing that's happening in the kitchens. And then this rat that rocks up and he becomes the chef. I mean, isn't it amazing? And this whole story about the rat that cooks. Try and do that in a normal movie. I can guarantee you won't get that right. And then in this whole movie, for those who've watched it, end of the day, Linguini, I think was the chap's name, he inherited this restaurant. And then rocks up one evening Anton Ego. He's the food critic, the most fierce food critic there in Paris. And he tells Linguini, I'm coming tomorrow night to see if you truly are a chef of statue. And his whole appearance of Anton Ego is of a person of a lot of ego and very stern. I mean, Linguini told him, for a guy that loves or likes food, you are very thin. And he snared back at Linguini and says, I don't like food, I love it. And if I don't love it, I don't swallow. So, I mean, he had a clear cut on his perspective about food. And he was, you could pick it up out of the movie, absolutely out there to nail every restaurant and to try and criticize them from every side and corner, to try and show out that they're not the best. That's what critics does. So the next evening, Anton rocks up at Linguini's place because he's coming there to have a meal of his life. He hopes so. And then we know the whole story of how the rat, can't remember his name. Can one of you remember what was his name? Rami, or whatever his name was. He prepares a dish, but it's not a dish you would have prepared for a critic. Ravioli, I think. Ratatouille, or whatever the dish was. It's more a peasant kind of dish, a simple dish. And then they brought the dish to Mr. Big Ego, Anton Ego, and he takes a bite. And that's so amazing from this movie, is how they illustrate, as he put that mouthful in his mouth, suddenly the movie runs with you. He drops his pen because it is just amazing how he experienced the taste, and immediately his whole being has been taken back as a little boy. As a little boy stepping into his mother's house. And something changed within that man. Something changed. Fast track the movie a little bit. Lost his restaurant, rats can't be in it. And Linguini starts another restaurant, Ratatouille. And Anton comes and eats there regularly. And suddenly, the picture portrayed of Anton, it's a much softened person. And something else gets portrayed from out of a man who was a major critic. I can almost stop my preaching just there. Because I think you can read between the lines. And the Lord spoke to me about taste. Lord spoke to me about taste. And I want to read to you Psalm 34, verse 8. It's a piece that a lot of you know. And it says, I'm going to start just from verse 1. Sometimes nice just to get in the idea. I will bless the Lord at all times. His praise shall continually be in my mouth. My soul makes its boast in the Lord. The humble and downtrodden will hear it and rejoice. Oh, magnify the Lord with me, and let us lift up his name together. I sought the Lord on the authority of his word, and he answered me and delivered me from my fears, all my fears. They looked to him and were radiant. Their faces were never blushed in shame or confusion. This poor man cried out, and the Lord heard him and saved him from his troubles. The angel of the Lord encamps around those who fear him with awe-inspired reverence and worship him with obedience. And he rescued each of them. Then verse 8. Oh, taste and see that the Lord our God is good. How blessed, how fortunate, prosperous, and favored by God is the man who takes refuge in him. Taste and see that the Lord is good. There's a key in here. If I read the word correct, David understood that when you taste the goodness of the Lord, it opens up. It opens up your vision. It unfolds the dimensions of who God is. When I taste, it takes me back. It takes me back to the cross. It takes me back even further. It takes me back before time, to the beginning. It takes me back to when God, before he created the heaven and the earth. It takes me back. There's something about taste. And it's amazing how, I've just thought about it yesterday again, it's amazing how when we look in the physical world, when we look at the physical realm and we see a lot of things, it's only a manifestation, it's only a show from the spirit realm. How many times have you looked at cooking programs? And then you see the real chefs that's trying to go out there for great taste. It's how they prepare their food. And you will hear them say, I want the people to experience something out of this meal. I want them to pick up on something. So in our physical body, there's something that happened. I watched on Curiosity Stream a program of a British astronaut that went up into space, and the British people decided, no man, gosh, their astronaut need to eat well. Not all this funny stuff that they've got scientific food that they've got for them. And they contracted in a chef to prepare food. Quite amazing, interesting, truly, if you can go and watch it, it's on Curiosity. It's an amazing documentary of how he needs to prepare his food, and his food needs to go through a lot of testings and all that kind of stuff. But his whole objective was he first went and spent time with the astronaut at his home and try and find out what is important in life, what is nice experiences that he had. Because he said it's important, he's going to be so long time away from his family. He wants to connect him. He wants to connect him with good memories of his family. Listen to me. And he prepared food, some of his favorite dishes. When he went out camping with his family, there were certain things that they had for dinner, for supper, lunch. And he selectively prepared certain meals, went through all the testings. It's quite interesting. And then 7-8 months later only, he's going to have this food. That's how long this food must be preserved for space. And then the second part of this documentary, they connect the chef up with this astronaut down here, and he's up there. And then they have this meal together. And the chef is waiting for his astronaut, his critic, to give him feedback. And how emotional the chef actually becomes because this astronaut says, wow, this took me back to that. It connected me back with this experience I had with my family. And I realized our physical body has got the ability to taste. Our taste buds has got the ability to communicate. How much more in our spiritual life? How much more is our spiritual taste? Our spiritual eyesight. And when we take the word, David, in a lot of his Psalms that he wrote, David talks about how sweet is the word. It tastes like honey, as sweet as honey. So the word has got the ability to open up. When we taste the word, when we take the word, it opens up the realm in order for us, and the revelation in order for us to see. That's why David could say, taste and see that the Lord is good. Taste and see His greatness. But like any good meal, if I'm just going to gulp it down, I'm not going to have that experience. If I truly taste something, when you taste wine, they roll it. Because they need to allow that taste to linger on the taste buds in order for them to pull the files. What is it what I taste? The same with the word. The same with what we receive from God the Father. I need to allow it to linger. I need allow my taste buds. I need to allow my taste buds, my spiritual taste senses, to grab hold of that word, to work it through in order for me, for God to come and to open up the revelation, to open up the dimensions of what He wants to do and manifest in my life. I like chilies. I truly love chilies. I like hot food. And if you eat chilies, a lot of people that don't eat chilies, they only say, no man, it just burns. That's all. It just burns my mouth. It's truly not pleasant. But if you truly start engaging and eating chilies, you will know, and you can go and read that. Chilies, what it does, when you eat chilies, it hypens up your taste buds. It hypens up and it makes them even more open. And when you eat chilies with food, your taste buds is almost like it explodes, and the taste of the food comes through much stronger. Oh, especially when you drink coffee while you're eating. Oh, that coffee, it's something different. So it opens up your taste buds. When we go through difficult times in our lives, it's pain. It's like those chilies. And what do? We back off and we go and sit in the corner. And we don't want to feel the pain because it's too much. We want to get away from that pain, that hurt when we go through situations, instead of coming forward into the pain. And says, Lord, allow me to see through the pain. Allow me to experience as my taste open up, so that I can receive the word in a new dimension. People, it is in times that we experience pain so many times that God comes and He reveals the word in an absolute new way. It's in most of the times that I've gone through pain where God has broken open to me revelation, which I would have maybe not have experienced in such a way if I didn't go through that circumstances. It's in that process of pain and an agony where you allow yourself to taste, to take in the word, to linger on the word, where you will open, where your eyesight will be open for new revelation, for new insight into what God's want to build in, break open for you in your life. But so many times we shrink back. The pain is too much. And forget the part in the Bible where God says, I will never test you above your abilities. But it's in those times where we need to step forward and allow the word to come and to just linger in our hearts. Allow the taste to explode and to bring forth that which the Father wants to emphasize, which He wants to build into your lives. Because that which He builds into your life is everlasting. Nobody can take those memories away. You know what's amazing? In those circumstances, if you allow yourself to open up your taste buds through the pain, the revelation that's been dropped in your spirit, the breakthrough, the everything involved in that whole process, which is embedded into your heart. The next time you go through another circumstances, as soon as it hits your taste buds, it takes you back. It takes you back to the revelation you received the previous times. It takes you back to the testimony of how God was faithful, reliable, trustworthy to bring you through. It takes you back, people. That's why it's so important that we taste and see. If we don't engage our spiritual taste, we don't build up memories. If Anton Ego didn't have that memory way back there, he wouldn't have connected that to that memory way back when he was a child. But something unlocked a memory. Something unlocked which he truly was. And I know it's animation. When we taste and see. When we taste, there's also a manifestation. When I taste the word, when Jesus walked this earth, the people tasted the words that he spoke, and they saw the manifestation of miracles around them. Another dimension. So when I taste, I need to see also, not just see in the revelation that God the Father has revealed into my heart, but I also need to see the manifestation of His goodness around me. I need to experience His power, His almighty presence as He manifests in my life. Those two are so connected to each other. Those two are so connected to each other. Jesus went, He spoke the word, He taught the crowd, and then the demonstration of His healing power went forth. And they could see, not just hear and taste, they could see the greatness and the goodness of God the Father as He performed the miracles. I want to read a last verse in Jeremiah. Jeremiah 15. Verse 16. Marlies. Jeremiah 15. It says in verse 16, it says, "Your words were found, and I ate them. And your words become a joy to me, and the delight of my heart, for I have been called by your name, O Lord God of hosts." I'm going to read it again. Your words were found, and I ate them. And your words became a joy to me. Experienced. And the delight of my heart, for I have been called by your name, O Lord God of hosts. Just see how Jeremiah here puts it in such an amazing way. I ate it and it became a joy. Why? I tasted and I see. God opened up His eyes in order to see the joy of being His own. I have been called by your name of being God's own. Can you truly this morning say, Lord, I want to allow my taste to be heightened. I want to allow my taste buds to be prickled. I want to allow you to come and just open up my taste in order for your word to land. I don't just want to gulp it down. I want the word to linger and allow my taste to open up in order for me to see. In order for me to see your revelation. In order for me to see the revelation of who you are. In order to see the manifestation of you in my life. And I just felt in my heart, and while Marlies and the rest of the band's going to play, I just felt that the Lord wants to heal people. And I'm going to invite anyone who's sick in their body, no matter what, to come forward. Because it's important that we taste and see that the Lord is good. I want to allow you to truly open up your heart and says, Lord, this morning I'm going to receive by faith your word. Your word that says, by his stripes I am healed. Your word that says, you have risen with healing in your wings. And I'm going to linger that taste within me in order to see the manifestation of you in my life. So I want us to stand, and Elise, Inge, while they're singing, I want to invite those who are sick in their body, those who are truly carrying something which is a burden in your physical body. Come forward. We're going to pray and trust God for the manifestation of his word to be real in your life this morning.